Hello and welcome to my channel. My name's Jo and here is where I talk about sewing, knitting, creativity and life. And it's been a while since I made a video, so I thought I'd give you a little life update and say a quick hi before we get back into the sewing. So, hello, I am back. The first thing to say is there's no big dramatic reason why I've been absent for a while. It's more complicated and subtle like that, but everything is fine. And the people who have messaged me to ask, where have you been and what are you doing and are you okay? I really appreciate your thoughts, because it's quite mind-boggling to me that there are so many of you out there and there are people who care enough to get in touch. So I really appreciate that. Your thoughts have been very warmly received, so thank you very much. Where have I been? I've been here mostly. Basically there's been a gap of almost a month, I think, since the last video that I made went up, and before that there's actually a gap of about 3 weeks since I actually filmed anything, because I knew that the summer holidays were coming up and I got ahead with a lot of filming, and I batched filmed things and I batched edited things, and I was very busy. And so although the last video you saw was about 4 weeks ago, the last video I made was almost 2 months ago, and I think mostly I just kind of fell off the wagon and struggled to get back up again. I don't know which metaphor you want to use, but yeah, I got out of the habit of it, and I'm naturally not actually the most social person in the world. I know that it can easily look like people who chat on their own in their house to their camera are brilliant at talking, but do you know what, to be honest, it's not my natural setting. So to have got out of the rhythm of doing it and of being all bright and up there, it's actually been quite difficult to get back to a place where energetically I feel like I've had enough to give. Now that's not to say that I have a problem with being introverted or quiet. In fact, I've had quite a nice time recently. I should probably rewind a little bit and tell you about my summer. So I have children, so the summer holidays are full of more people than are normally around. So our summer holidays in the UK start mid-July, end of August, and I'd made a decision that I was going to take time off all my other commitments during August. I didn't deliberately decide to do that about my YouTube videos, but that was why I'd got ahead with filming. And we weren't going away for a big holiday, but we did go. We had my niece to visit, which was fantastic, but obviously I wanted to spend a lot of time with her and with the boys, and we did day trips around here. We live near the beach, so we did that. We went to play parks and that kind of thing, and then we did a trip to Oxford, which was lovely. City I've never been to, and it's beautiful and amazing, and it particularly really inspired my oldest child, who loves Philip Pullman books, and they're all set in and around Oxford, or fictional versions of Oxford, or very often they are. And also, of course, there's Oxford University, and he was really inspired by that, and he's a very clever little boy. So biased parent that I am, I think that really gave him an insight into what might be in the future, albeit about 7 years away for him. But yeah, it was a beautiful few days that we had, and then from there we went even further away, and we went to my in-laws, which is down in Somerset, which is right down the other end of the country to us. And my birthday was while we were away, and my aim was basically to do nothing, and goal achieved. I did a lot of nothing. I'm not great at my own birthday for various reasons. I've had, when I was a kid, birthday in the middle of the summer holidays equals parties that nobody comes to. And yeah, that was my experience of birthdays, so I don't especially like birthdays. I have a big thing about nobody's gonna want to make anything of it, and we could get really complicated psychologically here, but I don't have a good relationship with my own birthday. But I had a good birthday this year in that I aimed to do nothing, and I achieved exactly that. So I had a very quiet day, and it was fine. My children were very puzzled why on earth anyone would want to do that on their birthday. fair question, but and I'm glad that that seems so alien to them because they haven't caught my birthday doom. But yeah, so that's what happened at the end of August. But the end of August is still only 3 weeks away. No, it's 4 weeks away now, nearly. So since then, people have started new schools. I've gone back to university. And after the real quietness of August, just my whole self felt really quiet. Not depressed, because I've been there. I've done that. I know what it's like. But it wasn't that. It was just peaceful. It was just a place where I'd managed to put down all of my commitments, and I was taking my time picking them back up again and actually being really thoughtful about which ones I wanted to pick back up again. I am hugely lucky in that almost every commitment in my life I don't necessarily have to do. So I have the ultimate luxury of choice about what I do and don't do. So my yoga teaching started back up, and I have been sewing throughout. I should say that this is a channel about sewing. I have been sewing and knitting throughout, so the nothing included actually quite a lot of knitting. But yeah, I've just been really mindful and slow and careful in a compassionate to myself way about which things I'm going to pick back up. And no offence to you guys, but you're the last thing that I've picked back up. Not because I don't want to be here, but because I guess when it comes down to it, this is absolutely, in terms of responsibility, quite an expendable thing to do. Absolutely, it's full of joy and enjoyment, but it takes a lot of time, and most of all for me, it takes a lot of psychological effort to be here, to be the person I want to be for you and who is engaging on screen. So you're not getting a fake me, don't think that, but you're getting a me who is the out there me rather than the quiet me's been the dominant one recently. That's what I'm trying to say. I hope this is making sense. So yeah, that is where I've been. But short update, I am back now. I have started university again, and I have 1 more year left on my postgraduate degree. I am training to be a psychotherapist, if you didn't know, and that is going to be quite intense. So before the summer I was managing to do 2 videos a week. Whether I'll get back up to that, I don't know. I've still got ideas coming out of my ears of things I'd like to do, so there's no shortage of that. And I'm still sewing because I love that, but how frequently the videos are going to come, I don't know. But I'm still here and I'm not going away. But I just felt, because I'd had so much warmth from you guys, that I wanted to share why it had taken me a little while to come back. I had one final thing I wanted to share with you. So I said that I'd had some lovely messages, and I have had some lovely messages. I'm just looking on my phone here. There was one in particular that actually wasn't about whether I'd been away or not. And this isn't to say that I didn't enjoy all of the messages, so I'm only going to share one of them, but it just meant so much to me and I wanted you guys to hear it. So it was to a video that is actually my most watched video. It's about making a DIY dress form. In fact, my one is just there with a shirt on, and it's about making a dress form that is your own body size. And when I made my video, I'll link it up here and at the end, but the thing that struck me the most wasn't actually the sewing task. It was the fact that it brings you face to face with your own body shape and issues in harsh reality, and certainly in a way I'd never done before. You can basically stand outside yourself and walk around yourself and go, oh, okay. And even if you have a healthy relationship with your body, which I largely do, it was still a shock. So yeah, for people who maybe don't have that, I think you need to go into the process forewarned, even though it can be a really powerful and positive and transformative thing. So that was what that video is about, which you can go and watch if you haven't seen it already. But a lady called Shirley, this is what she said, and it just really touched my heart. She said, I rarely comment on videos or blogs due to the anonymity of the internet. People can be so needlessly mean, and I'm just not up to that. But I had to make an exception here to say that this video has really helped me more than you could ever know. I actually have a dress form and an additional arm form in a shopping cart somewhere waiting for me to push that magical PayPal button that would put me into debt. I hesitate on that partly because I'm certain I would be spending over $300 on something I would have to pad and hope to make reasonably accurate enough to be of some use. That was what I thought before I bought the DIY one. I'm also a person who overthinks and researches and stresses and tries to imagine every possible scenario to avoid mistakes that could be costly in any number of ways. Yeah, I hear you. I don't get a lot done sometimes because, of course, that does not work. Often that does not work at all. The thing about this video that really got me though, that made me decide to order the PDF, was a reply that you made to a comment that I did. I said, "Live now rather than in some hoped for future." That comment was a gut punch. I needed that. I tend to forget that even though I'm only 55 years old, time is no longer necessarily on my side. I need to stop torturing myself to get or stay a certain weight and size and just live, to clothe the body I have, not wait for the body I want. So, off I go to order this pattern. Thank you for being willing to put yourself out there to help strangers you'll never know. I've subscribed and will go through your previous videos and look forward to any new ones. Oh, that is... It made me cry in a good way when she first sent it a couple of weeks ago, I think, maybe even earlier this week. And it makes me tearful now, but just in a joyful way because, yeah, the idea that I can connect to people like that is awesome. And that my thought of live for now rather than some hoped for future is how I desperately try to live my life most of the time, and in a way I think that's partly why there's been such a gap in the videos. Just now's been fine. Now for me has been a quiet, comfortable place that I didn't need to disturb. But my energy reserves are restored. I am back. I'm not leaving you, and I love you all. Thank you very much for watching. I haven't forgotten my series that I was partway through. It is filmed but it's not edited, and that's always what takes the time, about making a shirt. It will continue, but I'm not going to just put those out because I want to get a bit more connected and a bit more real. And now the thing I haven't done, which I'm well overdue with, is what I have been sewing in August. So that is going to be the next up video, and we will get right back into this. So thank you for being there, and I will see you there next time. Bye for now.